and not a privilege. Well, it's been long since we have come live, but this time we are going to use YouTube because I want to connect with you all on YouTube as well. I hope you're doing well, and what an era to be alive. What day to be alive. Happy Earth Day 2022 for to everyone out there. And those who have joined me, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And I'm pretty sure that you are going to take away a lot from this session. Well, basically, this is something that we all know already. This is going to be a global discussion, and this has already become a global discussion. So, today I'm not going to call it a webinar, this is more of a open conversation that is definitely welcomable by everyone, and also very very important by all the um, businesses out there, whether it's a small scale business or large scale corporate, right? And that is why it has become so important for us to understand the significance of digitalization, sustainability, and the net zero target. Well, United Nations has actually set targets for decarbonization or the net zero carbon emission, the GHG targets, and they are to be fulfilled by 2050 completely. We want to achieve them by 2050. Also, we want to be done implementing them by 2030, so that by 2050 we can actually fulfill our goals. That is why it is very important for us accountants to know, to identify the key risks associated with them, to understand how we can meet them, and that will be only possible when we unite together and take a holistic approach in meeting or mitigating all the risks associated with all sort of businesses sustainability. That means the biggest threat that we are talking about is the threat to sustainability, the threat in surviving in the long run. And we have seen that in the last 3 years, that how pandemic or health crisis, health matters can change so many people's lives, can affect all sort of business activities as well as economic activities. That is why ACCA has published this very important, small but very important survey, which is going to be published by May or June very soon. And please feel free to participate in the survey. I have participated in the survey because we have to do it as accountants. It's our duty to play our parts as global citizens, as responsible citizens for the corporates, for all the small businesses or all kind of people out there. We are accountable to the public and not just to the companies we are working for, which is why we are known as professional and ethical accountants. It is our core duty to save the planet as well, so that our companies, the people we are serving, can actually survive in the long run. And that will only be done when we account for all the stakeholders out there, not just one category of stakeholders, not just shareholders. We don't only think about short termism, because it can cause the long term approach, it can cause sustainability. And this is why it has become extremely crucial that we take a holistic approach from now on, address all the key areas. We all have also seen our priorities that are set by Helen Brand, our CEO, ACCA CEO. We are going to talk about that very soon. So today's agenda is not just about Art Day celebration or our duties, what we can do on our day, or what are the changes that we need to bring in order to meet decarbonizing targets or the net zero target of UNSDG. Well, basically, United Nations has this climate conference to take climate change action, so that we can actually mitigate all sort of risks or threats that may be arising due to natural factors or disasters, the changes in the world due to global warming, or maybe due to our activities that are harming the environment. We need to take account of all of them so that in the long run we can actually survive and also continue to grow the way we want to grow, right? We know that it's quite a fact that what we want doesn't happen in real life, and that is why there are so many researches going on from ACCA side, as well as from all the other professional bodies out there who actually care, who genuinely care about the society, about the entire world. And in order to help address all the problems that we are facing currently post pandemic or during the pandemic that have been faced already, we are trying to mitigate those lackings. We are trying to recover from all the disasters that have occurred in our lives, especially the small businesses have been impacted the most, which is why in order to recover from those harsh stages of businesses, we are trying to implement some transformational models that will probably be helpful for all sort of businesses, for all sort of industries. So very soon we are going to talk about the priorities set by ACCA for all the ethical and professional accountants out there. So this is not only going to be useful for ACCA members, students or affiliates, but also for all the other professional accountancy bodies out there, or any sort of accountant who is working in any kind of industry. I hope you find this useful. So feel free to share this webinar with your friends, with your family members. And since I'm already late, I'm really sorry I had to delete my previous or the last live because of some technical issue. But right now, the current topic that I'm talking about is more important, which is why let's dive in. And I'm going to take comments as well. Please let me know your opinion on how to address the sustainability issues, post pandemic issues that had arisen in the last 3 years. And this year is going to be the recovery year, definitely. The last year was too, but this year mostly we are going to go on to full swing recovery, hopefully, because now we know that how we can overcome any sort of challenges, whether it's pandemic or any other natural disaster. All right, so I think we should not waste any more time. And before moving on to the challenges that we are currently facing, let's talk about a very motivational point that have been arisen by one of the ACCA council members. He has said, if an accountant knew what he was capable of doing and how he can utilize his knowledge, he can actually make a bigger difference in the entire world. Isn't that a lovely saying that has been put forward by one of the most important figures in ACCA community as well as in the corporate world? So I'm going to put down his report very shortly in my description box. Please read that link, and also followed by that there will be some other corporate reporting links, some UNSCG's areas that need to be addressed by the accountants, that can be addressed by the accountants. Basically, if we can participate in strategy making, we can actually address all the issues that have been put forward in UNSDG, the 17 SDGs or United Nations Sustainable Development Goals that need to be fulfilled by 2050. And we have a commitment to implement those goals by 2030. All of those goals have been implemented by a lot of companies out there, by a lot of bodies out there, and we are trying to do that as well. So there is a very short survey and a very useful survey as well put forward by ACCA. So feel free to go to and visit ACCA Global's website, participate in the survey, because your voice matters. Without your opinion and voice, commitment or action, we are nothing. Nothing is going to happen, because together we achieve more, right? And so let's not waste any more time. Participate in the survey and share our opinion on UNSCG, which one is more important and why. Maybe you can tell it from the point of view of your country, your society, or your life experiences. All right. So now what we were talking about is actually our day celebration as well as our key focus that needs to be addressed, that needs to be revised and improved at the same time on the basis of our daily goals, or you can also call on the basis of long term goals. Also, basically, our short term goals actually rely on the long term ones, which is why it's very important that we focus on the long run performance and consequences before focusing on the short termism. Short termism is no longer preferable or recommended because we have seen what has happened during the pandemic, that if we do not prepare ourselves or our companies in the long run for the future, it might hit very badly. So yeah, that is why we are here talking about it. And also the UN SDGs are so important because when we serve the public serves us. Ultimately, that leads us to being accountable, ethical, and professional, which is why it is also very important to being straightforward, leading integrity in all aspects of our work, and also being transparent has become so much crucial and life changing for everyone out there, because ultimately when we are being honest to the public, we are being honest to ourselves, we are actually going to fulfill our purpose while fulfilling others' purpose. All right, so we all know this fact very well that we grow by lifting others. And this is my favorite quote. Let me know in the comment section what is your favorite quote and what do you think is your success mantra? What do you think accountants are accountable for? Is it just preparing accounts? Obviously, no. It is so much more than preparing accounts. It is so much more than financial reporting. It is also being accountable and keeping our responsibilities in mind. We are actually over here in this platform to share and connect and grow. All right. I'm really sorry, firstly, once again, that I'm kind of late, but it is also never too late to talk about such an important topic, the UN SDGs and accountants' role to play in sustainability, in protecting the world, in making a difference. There is no end to it. Actually, there is no end to it. I have to say it once again, which is why we are going to talk about the 7 priorities set by ACCA for all the accountants out there who are willing to play their role, who are willing to serve the public and not just themselves, right? It is so much more than commercialization, it is so much more than self-interest. It is all about serving the public, because only then we can grow, only then we can achieve our goals. All right, so the first area that needs to be focused is on driving the economy. And when you drive the economy, you are actually driving your own company. So obviously, it is very important that enough research and risks associated with the economy are addressed in the very early stages of businesses. That should be implemented, that should be considered while making the strategy, which is why it is very important that accountants play a role, or get directly involved in strategy making, get directly involved with the board, so that he can lead the entire company or the entire corporate situation into economic development. Ultimately, that will lead to a sustainable business plan, a business growth as well, right? So this is going to be beneficial for everyone. So very important. Firstly, you need to address economic issues that are occurring, the changes in the economy, maybe by performing the SWOT analysis, maybe by performing the PEST analysis, and also there are so many researches going on around the world. Please stay updated with some economic times or news, the magazines out there that are authentic, so that you can actually know how to deal with it and when to deal with it. Also, we are talking about economy and talking about transformation. So, in order for transformation to happen, people are so important. People in the organization are at the heart of everything, and so are you, which is why it is also your responsibility to develop talents inside your community, your organization, or every single person you know. Spread your knowledge and skill as far as possible, because the more you do that, the more you are investing in your future. Remember that the people in the organization are actually the change makers, which is why it is so important that you share your knowledge, your skills with everyone out there, and try to understand everyone's needs in fulfilling the organizational goals in short and long run, right? And that is why we not only do we think about the current year or the next 3 years, but for the next 10 years it is so important. All right. Since we're talking about that, maybe in our future videos, I'll be talking about the phases of a business, a life cycle, and what are the to dos in every single phase of your organization. Yeah, we will be talking about a lot of important things in this platform, and feel free to let me know in the comment section that what kind of topics you would like to talk about. Maybe I can invite one of you in my upcoming podcast, webinar, or any sort of discussion that will be open for everyone out there, not just for the accountants, but every single person out there who needs to know this. And your voice matters, so we'll definitely listen to your story, your opinion, your views on UNSCGs, on decarbonization, or on protecting the world, which has become an immediate issue, an emergency issue for every single person out there. That is why there is a call to action. And please write down your comment with a hashtag of call to action, or maybe send one of your recorded videos on what you think about it with the hashtag call to action. And maybe one of you will be invited to my podcast or webinars where we talk face to face and exchange our opinions, our stories, or how we can make a better impact in the entire world. Right? We have talked about economy, we have talked about talent, management, development, pooling, and as well, it's very important, addressing, identifying all the people out there, all the potential accountants out there who can actually play a role in your organization is also very important. And how you can enhance their skills, their knowledge continuously is also very important. The CPDs are so crucial nowadays. That ACC has also CPD every single year, we know that, and I hope that we are participating in it. That is going to help us progress, not just in terms of profession, but also in terms of academics or in terms of personal life. We are going to evolve so well that we had never imagined before. All right, so we were talking about transformation. We are talking about the long term performance, and that should not be at a cost of short term performance either. Just like the short term performance should not be at the cost of long term performance, the entire thing needs to be balanced, and we also call it the balance act. In order for that to happen, we implement green financing, which leads to sustainability. So the next very big agenda that comes up in this session is sustainability. Yes, in order for the long term performance, in order to ensure long term growth, um, sustainable approach in the short run is very important, because your daily actions are actually taking you or leading you to your future consequences. That is why it is so important, like I said before, that your future depends on your present, and that is why it is so important that you start taking those baby steps from now on. Ultimately, you can see your results at the end of the day the way you had expected to see them. Just like running a day, remember that if you want to maybe pass your exam by a certain deadline, you start preparing for it from a long time ahead. with adequate time ahead, maybe from 6 months, for 4 months, from 3 months, depending on your schedule. Just like that, the company's goals work just like that. You need to work for them from now on, taking those very baby steps from day one. All right, so that was sustainability. Then we can talk about how to approach sustainability, how to ensure uh, sustainable growth or long-term growth for the business while fighting with the threats that may appear during the progress. Right, so that is also possible when you can actually plan wisely, when you are continuously staying updated with your economic change or the business revolution, transformation, the needs of the consumers or the demand of consumers, the patterns, the buying patterns, or maybe the uh, what do we call it, the inflation, the exchange rate patterns, the payment patterns, and so on. So many things are needed to be considered while making a budget, or maybe while preparing a policy, while designing it, implementing it. It is so important to staying continuously updated with the changes that are occurring in our world. And for that, it is also very crucial, like last year, the in the last 3 years, we have seen so many changes, so many businesses shutting down. It's only because they had never imagined or could not predict what was going to happen due to COVID-19. So that is why it is extremely important that we keep on studying the changes, or keep on studying the news that are appearing every single day. uh, Early preparation is actually going to lead you to your success. That is why I would like to talk about early preparation very shortly, and maybe there will be a video on that how you can prepare yourself for your future, not just in terms of your profession, but also in your academic life, how you can prepare your for exam, for your upcoming June sessions exam. Please let me know which exam are you appearing for this year. Have you planned the entire year's exams? Have you planned your entire year's studies? And how you're going to fulfill your SCCA goals that you may have in the long run. So yeah, we are going to talk about more than just playing our role as accountants in this platform. This is going to be also a self-developmental sessions platform. This is going to be self-growth session that will be helpful for all of you. All right, so regulation is probably the most fundamental areas that need to be considered. I think we cannot overlook it at any cost. It is extremely important to comply with all the local and international regulations that have been set up for all sort of companies, for all sort of industries, while we report financially or non-financially, because without compliance of regulations we cannot survive day. Right, there will be a lot of consequences, negative consequences regarding that, whether it's a punishment from the government or from your investors as well. You might be losing a very goodwill in the long run, in terms of your company's reputation. That is why it's very important to stick to regulations. Without that we can't survive. And it's also very important with the changes, you keep updating your internal regulations as well, so that ultimately all the dots are aligned and you can fulfill your professional goal, your organizational goals very smoothly. All right, then we will be talking about some other issues regarding regulations. We'll be some sharing some links in the description. Please read them, and also keep yourself updated with the changes in accounting standards, the conceptual framework, also some reports published by ISSB. Sustainability reports are very important nowadays. That includes both financial and non-financial factors, the non-financial areas, or issues that are affecting the financial areas, how they are being affected. We need a very vivid explanation that need to be presented to our stakeholders out there, for them to understand or business activities and results in the short and long run, right? And it helps them to make their economic decisions very easily, which is why sustainability reporting is very important. Sustainability reporting actually has a very big meaning. There is a certified course in ACCA's global website on sustainability reporting. If you haven't taken it, it's a good thing to take it if you're on your journey to SSA membership, or you are playing a role in that. Definitely we all have a role to play in sustainability reporting. It actually, to my understanding, what it means is considering all sort of factors, considering all the weaknesses, the strengths, as well as threats and opportunities inside the report. While preparing the report, you have to actually look at a bigger picture, not just at one area, not just at profit loss, asset income, expense liabilities, or equity, but also how your stakeholders want to perceive, how your stakeholders want to get the information is what matters in reporting. Okay, so when you think from their perspective, it's going to be very much easier and very much more, you know, insightful for everyone out there. Right. Then comes the small businesses. We definitely talked about the public sector already, so that is our priority. Small businesses have become a priority post pandemic because they have been hit the most, which is why we need to know that how can we address their situation, their problems in the long run, maybe by participating in the strategies. Once again, get involved with them directly while they prepare their corporate strategies, so that they know how to address all the threats, how to prepare themselves in the beginning, from ahead of everything that goes against their way maybe. And that is why it is very important to be wiser in implementing the strategies and designing the strategies that work for the long run of the business's survival and growth. Right. Then comes building trust. Obviously, you need to be very ethical, professional, transparent, straightforward in everything that comes in reporting or presenting your information, getting your message across all the stakeholders. That is why you need to build trust. And in order to build trust, you need to start it from day one in being straightforward, being transparent, being genuine with whatever you're going to say or put information about, or maybe presenting information about. We sometimes try to overlook the areas where we need to be integrally honest, where we need to be very much straightforward and not just think about the short termism, commercialization, what is going to make our organization very profitable. That is not very important. The most important or fundamental part is about serving the public and fulfilling their needs, because when we fulfill their needs, they fulfill ours, and automatically your organization will grow. It will be fulfilling the commercial needs of your organization naturally. So no need to worry about that when you are worrying about the public. And with that, on that note, I want to wish you happy Earth Day once again. Let's protect the planet. And I also shared a post last night in our Facebook group, Global Home of ACCA, that what can we do on Earth Day. It's not just for Earth Day, actually, it is for every single day. Whenever we have some spare time, we can plant a tree, we can encourage recycling, we can start recycling, we can reduce dumping, we can reduce carbon emissions upon less or minimum usage of any sort of vehicles that emit carbon, or by minimizing our transportation system, by minimizing our um, you know any kind of useless or unnecessary uh, packaging, any kind of unnecessary dumping, any kind of unnecessary product usage. Maybe you have a lot of packages in your home, yet you're going for new packages for gift wrapping. Why not use the old wrappers for wrapping up your gift? Okay, so this is a very small view of mine. There are so many areas to be addressed. There are so many alternatives that can be implemented. Please let me know how you would like to address all the UNSDGs. and protect the planet, protect the environment for everyone's benefit, for everyone's well being. Because when we protect the planet, ultimately, all of us will be happy all together and achieve our goals all together. All right. I hope you enjoyed this session and thank you so much for staying with us so far. I'm really sorry for deleting the last live. And after I end this live, you'll be watching a played version of it. So no issue over there. I'm going to end this live right away. And let me know if you need any other discussion, if you would like to know about any other topic. I'll be definitely uploading more videos like this, and maybe they will be recorded version, but sometimes I'll be coming live just to chat with you guys. All right, goodbye, good night, and happy Ramadan to all of you out there who are celebrating Ramadan, and also to everyone out there who are changing people's lives, who are serving the public in so many other ways. All right, so that's all for today. I'll be watching you in my next live session. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time a lot, and I hope that you'll be sharing my message with everyone out there.